Lloyd the Planteric, and welcome to Vegas in Tune, the show that brings talented Las Vegas musical acts directly to you. On this episode, 4 of the most talented local musical minds join together to create a unique and remarkable sound, a crowd of small adventures. Also tonight, one of the best lyricists in Las Vegas, Wyatt McKenzie, will showcase why many call him the premier songsmith in town. And later, we take to the streets for a closer look at First Friday, the monthly gathering of artists and musicians, both young and old. So stick around for more Vegas in Tune.
That
Crowd of Small Adventures came from, I believe it's Being and Nothingness from Sartre, essays, and I'm not really into existentialism at all, but I thought that that was pretty much the coolest combination of words ever, and sort of embodied what I wanted in music. Was sort of a way of exploring what's in my mind and musical adventures, basically.
this is Gemini. With two of you just one of me, your mouth is wide is screaming. Oh, but I can't hear you. So give me some hope, give me a clean light. Light won't fade on me. You fix me a drink, you cook me some really good food. Let's talk. Oh, hey. Whoa. Center of the earth. Come again, and we will reach down to the center of the earth. When I get home, I wash my you're still in my shirt with red eyes, walking fire in there, but you won't back down. Give me some hope, give me a cleaner life. Light won't fade on me. Well, fix me a drink, you could me some really good food, and let's talk. Oh, hey, we'll make it whole life. Skin, then we will crawl into your marrow, cry out all your tears, then we will swim to freedom. Open up your skin, we will crawl into your marrow, cry out all your swim, swim to freedom. Oh, 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 oh.
I'm a big fan of Robert E. Howard. He was a sort of a pulp fiction writer in the 20s. Sort of a disturbed man. He wrote Conan the Barbarian series, which is generally, I think, misunderstood in culture today. He had a troubled life. He was an alcoholic, and basically Bone City is a direct answer to his writing. It's very dark, and it's set in the future, but definitely it's just about hell on earth, I guess you could say. Just the worst possible world you could think of, and that's what the song is about.
This is Bone City. Oh, 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 we sang real loud, yeah, we gave them hell, and we raised our axes and hammers up, and we bathed in blood, not ours, but theirs. We built our cities with their bones, oh, 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 and we made our way out west. There's snow in the snow, we sang. First day of our lives, gonna leave here bloody and wet. Yeah, we're so, oh, oh, oh. Leave me alone, spider birds wide. Yeah, the prisoner cut them one by one. Now he's cured, he's lying in the gutter of the town. That's not the first day of his life. He's gonna leave it bloody and wet. Yeah, he's so. Prisoner, cut them all one by one. Now that's good. He's lying in the gutter of the town.
For years, people just talked about how much Las Vegas sucked. You know, that's all you'd ever hear from bands is this town sucks. I'm not the only one to say it. It doesn't suck anymore. I mean, there's always something going on. There's a ton of talented people all doing really interesting work. There's not one like Las Vegas sound, you know, there's 20 different Las Vegas sounds, and I think that with people like James Woodbridge and the Neon Reverb Festival, and Donald doing that radio show on Friday nights at KUNV, and all these folks here doing this stuff, I mean, this would have been unheard of really 5 years ago. All the stuff that's going on now, it's really remarkable.
Goodbye Sunshine on Local 1079 for 1079 The Alternative. You know, it's that time where we do local music here, just in case you're wondering. The show started in 2006 with me and Violet, who is one of our other DJs. We decided that there wasn't really an adequate local show serving the Valley, and that the show needed to encompass all local music, whereas other shows just are specific to the format of the station that they're on. We tend to play alternative music. However, there's times that I'll go ahead and spin R&B artists, or even if DJs send me a demo and I could, fit it into 4 minutes, I can maybe do like a sample or something like that. I try to incorporate all local artists. Doesn't matter what they do. One of the jokes that I said is, if it's a rock band, a reggae band, or a fire-breathing juggler set to music, I'll play it.
You're listening to Neon Reverb Radio on 91.5 KUNV right there. The band Hungry Cloud shares a lot of the same band members with a crowd of small adventures. You heard the song Forward Water. Kid Meets Cougar is one of the most amazing local bands I have heard in years. Turn this up on the volume. They get the party going. This is Hey Hey off their new album, For Breakfast. If you don't like this band,
you don't like music.
There you go. Only heard here on 91.5 KUNV.
The tagline is we bring the latest and greatest of music to the left of the dial, and I guess I'm referencing this sort of subculture of public radio, whether you think of it as like NPR or college radio. There was a great song by The Replacements back in the day, The Left of the Dial, and talking about just that, and that there is, if you're a music lover, regardless of what the music is, you're going to find more of it on the left of the dial than you are in your sort of highly wound up commercial radio stations that have a 20-song rotation.
Well, local radio was dealt a terrible blow again in the 90s when huge corporations were allowed to own stations all over the country. That dealt a terrible blow to any local music anywhere, really, unless you had a radio station that was willing to go there and play that music. And KUNV has had some local music shows. For instance, Women's Voices would carry any local music that was women. The Lion's Den obviously has been great proponents of local bands.
Especially like the jam band stuff.
Oh, the big jam band thing.
Well, good evening, Las Vegas, and great first set, Mongo.
Thank you.
Started off with Air, off of the Premier Symptoms album. Well, the Lion's Den radio show's been on air now, going on 12 years, coming in June. Came on air in 1998. And what the Lion's Den radio show is, it's an eclectic mix of music. It's my expression of what it is that I enjoy doing and what I enjoy listening to. People always say, well, what type of music do you play? And I say, good. And they say, well, what does that mean? And I say, well, good music. Good music can be in any and all genres.
Right there, you heard the singer David Hopkins doing a duet with Damian Rice off his new
People need to step up and take notice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, some of the stuff that comes out makes me angry, and I just think maybe A&Rs or some of the labels, quite frankly, need to get their heads out their butts and just quit thinking that Vegas is only about the Killers or Panic at the Disco, and understand that maybe because of our geographic isolation or cultural,
we are like Australia.
We're kind of like
We're
Australia.
We're surrounded by nothing.
Right.
But
we have some pretty cool creatures,
Yeah.
Soon to be speaking in tongues and
handling snakes along the Mississippi River. Yeah, we're just playing through them.
I started playing guitar when I was about 8 years old, and just writing songs really, really early. I think around the age of probably 10 or so, I started writing lyrics and songs and things like that. And so all through middle school and high school, I made home recordings, and I'd pass out CDs and things like that. And I was always starting different bands. And I don't know. Lately, I just try to write songs. I almost leave all that stuff behind me. I don't really have any interest in, I don't know, re-releasing any of the old music or really showing it to anyone. Lately, I prefer to be someone that writes songs, as, you know, been referred to as a child prodigy or anything like that. I think I don't like it when I read local reviews and stuff when they talk about my age or things like that.
Soon to be speaking in tongue and handling snakes along the Mississippi River. You're soon to be caught barebacked in the backseat of some Cadillac where two bodies moan and shiver. Soon to be a stranger, a traitor, or a friend. Soon to be a ghost haunting the naked streets of Bangkok, Thailand. But tonight he's microscopic, wiggling through the soft flowers of your fallopian tube. Soon to be a lover or a loner in between. He's soon to be betrayed with his head caught in some guillotine. He's soon to be a scholar or a failure or the worst among invisible faces at the station pumping gasoline. He could fight for his country or hold his hands out on the street with the sun scorching his skin, his brittle hair greased and shedding. But tonight is just a chance he's swimming through the soft flowers of your fallopian tubes. When you get naked with your man, there is a warm, squishy silence that holds you in its hand. And there's a part of your soul that wants to linger there as long as it possibly can. Oh, if words betray this warmth, pretty darling, you don't have to speak at all. Soon to be red-robed with glowing lotus-folded feet. He's soon to work construction with a hunchback and bad teeth. He's soon to be a farmer with his overalls and rake pick. He's soon to be a liar and a cheater and a flake. He's soon to be entranced by the California stars that hang above his head like silver halos through the sunroof of his car. But tonight he's just a seed planted in you, sadly swimming through your body and searching for a clue.
The sperm song, that was an idea that I carried with me for a really, really long time. I don't know, just I guess the idea that something that could be kind of funny, I could turn serious. I guess the idea when I say it out loud, people think, oh, that song's going to be ridiculous or funny, but it's really not funny. It's kind of a song about, I don't know, human potential and someone finding their place in the world.
This song is called Adonia.
Adonia is another song that I think I carried with me for a long time. Well, there were a number of songs I wrote that were called Adonia. There were Adonia 1 through 3. But the first one that I played, I used to live in this townhouse with a friend, and we had kind of trashed the place because neither of us were like, I don't know, very neat people or organized people. And so we were living in this townhouse, and there's just, all of our stuff was just everywhere, like all over the floor. And I just kind of carried that concept with me for a long time and thought about, I don't know, it's, what if everything in our lives we kind of just treated that way and didn't know it? What if just everything in our lives was just kind of like our stuff, just all over the floor, you know? So it was just kind of a song. I wrote it like a few months after I'd moved out of the townhouse, and it was really easy to write. It didn't take very long.
She was a mermaid on the floor, among the fashion magazines with pages torn, among my trail of styrofoam cups with plastic lids, and the dusty books that Mom would read when we were kids. She was a mermaid on the floor, tangled up between a dirty pair of shorts and a million unlived dreams. She was a mermaid on the floor, among the bent fishing rods my grandpa left, among the stringless mandolin with broken pace, bedroom walls I punched in a drunken rage. She was a mermaid on the floor, propped up beside a pile of apple cores and a million tally marks, painted in red lipstick. She was a mermaid in a pot, souvenirs I bought from Vatican City, some rosaries and monks molded from clay, some candles half burned, the smell of rain. She was a mermaid in a pot, with all my repression and denial. Among the model skeletons I stole from junior high, and all my clipped fingernails could touch the sky. Among the cracked jewel cases and the half-written pages and the talking pillowcases and the dead birds in their cages. Oh, she was a mermaid on the floor. She was a mermaid on the floor.
Sometimes I just get these ideas. Sometimes I'll carry an idea with me in my head for a couple months before I'll end up writing it. I just think about things a lot, and I think I kind of have a really close relationship with myself as an artist, almost kind of a narcissistic relationship, but I think it helps me to write songs, and I think the songwriting process is something that could be helpful to other people. So I feel like I live maybe kind of a narcissistic life in hopes that these songs would help someone eventually through a hard time or something like that.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Vegas in Tune. For more information on our show or the bands we featured, check out our website, unlv.tv. Until next time, keep on rockin' Vegas.